Hey guys, I'll obviously start with just the quarterback situation. So as everyone's probably heard by now, we've named Jake Haener the starting quarterback for this game. Feel like after going through the first couple days of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, and against this particular team and this particular game plan, we feel like Jake gives us the best chance to win. Certainly no indictment at all against Spencer. I think Spencer's doing a great job. I think Spencer has a great, bright future ahead of him. As in regards to Derek, he's doing really well with the concussion protocol. Looks like everything's going to be above board there, all good. We are still going to determine whether or not he'll be the backup for the game or potentially the emergency third, so we're not ruling Derek out for this game at the moment. We'll kind of see how his hand is progressing, and it is improving, and so we'll let that kind of play out the rest of the week. So we have a couple options there. Because he's on the roster, we can either make him still the backup quarterback, have him active for the game, or make him the emergency third. And so those options are still on the table. If he's functional and able to do that, that's a possibility. So I'm excited for Jake, and here we go.
What were some of the determining factors for Jake? I mean, they were splitting reps during the game, during the week, and so what were some of the determining factors for him?
Honestly, without getting too deep into it, we just felt like Jake had a really good couple of days, and he gave us the best chance for this particular game.
So Darren, just to be clear on Derek, even if he's active, Jake would be the starter.
Jake's going to start the game, yes.
What do you mean all good with Derek? Like past the concussion protocol? Or
yeah,
he would have to practice to do that, wouldn't he?
He has to, in order to have the final step, he's got to go through a quote-unquote, don't quote me on this actually, unquote, yeah, is a non-contact practice. So what that entails, that just entails some movement stuff and things like that. So,
but he's passed other stages.
He's up, as far as I know, he's passed every step of the way so far.
So he's at the final step.
The final step would have to be a non-contact movement scenario.
Would your guys' walkthrough qualify as that tomorrow?
Usually, as far as I know, in that situation, like Caesar was in that situation last week, he's got to go through a non-contact practice. Again, it's more movement, moving around, getting your heart rate up and those kinds of things, and making sure there's nothing. But right now he's asymptomatic.
Yeah.
So
we've heard you guys talk about Jake's moxie from time to time. How do his teammates respond to him that you've seen?
Yeah, I think the best part about Jake is he prepares. And every week he's been here, and every day he's been here, he's prepared as if he was going to be the starter. And so when you watch one of our practices, if you didn't know any better, if you came to the first Saints practice of your life and watched him operate, he operates like a guy that's been there before. And so that's a credit to his preparation. It's a credit to how he kind of handles every day, his mindset. And so I think that's kind of the moxie. You don't feel any different in practice at all whatsoever with him in there. I thought he did a really good job these last 3 days of operating just in and out of the huddle, the tempo, all those kinds of good things. And so hopefully we bring that to the field on Sunday.
I was asking you this the other day, but you were still playing coy on your decision.
Me?
Did you?
Coy.
When you came in, you evaluated tons of things. You changed the locker room things. I mean, did you specifically evaluate the quarterback position and make a conscious choice that Jake Haener was? You wanted him to remain the number 2, and you saw some reason for him to be ahead of Spencer at that time?
It's really been an ongoing process.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I wasn't the interim head coach, I monitored the quarterback. I watch practice every day, just like every other coach. And I as a special teams coach, you get a different view of everything. You have more of a team-wide view, and so I paid attention to the OTAs, training camp, the practices, and so I didn't have it predetermined. Jake Haener is going to be the next guy because I thought Spencer had a really good training camp, and I thought he did some really good things in the 3 games that he started. So I tried to have an open mind this week as we went into this thing. First thing was to make sure it's going to be not Derek as the starter, and then determine which guy gives us the best chance. But I really do believe, and I wasn't trying to be coy. I really believe that both guys in their own right, could lead this team just like Spencer did in the last 3 games. But there's nothing that Jake. And like I said, there's nothing that Spencer didn't do. He didn't do anything wrong. I just felt like for this game, Jake gives us the best chance.
How has Derek's hand progressed?
It's improving every day.
Alvin should be fine.
Alvin full practice today. Yesterday was more, I know I told you guys on Wednesday I thought he'd be back on Thursday. That was really more my decision, to be honest with you. I thought it was a good idea not to have him go out there. He got pretty sick, but he's much better now. It looks like he's recovering just about 100%. So he was full practice today. He'll have no game designation. He'll be up and ready to roll. Really, just yesterday was more precautionary, just coming off of a sick day and making sure we're just being safe with it.
It's random, but do you have any thoughts on having saving the onside kick? Or, they talk about that at the league meetings this week.
It's come up for the last, I'm on that special teams committee, and it's come up the last 5 years. Listen, I think there's different feelings about the onside kick. I think if you could ever have a predictor out there, you kind of want it maybe right around 10%. And if you're hovering around 10%, you're probably, I'm not really in favor as a special teams guy of having a format that allows for a higher percentage, because I think you kind of water down what a team just did for 4 quarters. I think the current situation is good. I think one of the things we can consider, there's things you can consider, and we've brought that up to the league about changing maybe the rules for the kickoff teams alignments, or eliminating players out of the setup zone. Right now you're allowed to have a maximum of 9. So for example, maybe have 8, or maybe for example, getting a little more creative with the kickoff formations, things like that. But other than that, I'm a fan of the way it is now. I'm not a fan whatsoever of the 4th and 15. And here's the biggest reason. The biggest reason that people that are against the 4th and 15 is there's no possibility on an onside kick that a foul, a penalty by the return team, could give the kickoff team the ball. On a 4th and 15, there's multiple fouls, which would extend the drive and give the other team a first down. So who wants to lose a game on an errant hands to the face penalty, or an illegal contact, or a defensive holding, or a late hit on the quarterback? All those things are automatic first downs. And so I know in theory the 4th and 15, but because of the penalty aspect and because you put your marquee player at risk, the quarterback now becomes a player safety issue also on the 4th and 15, because now you can't throw the ball away, you're not going to slide before the stick, you're not going to run out of bounds, all those things. So it becomes a player safety issue also for the quarterback. So those are the 2 biggest reasons why I would be, and a lot of coaches would be, against the 4th and 15. So I think we continue to modify the current rule and maybe get a little bit higher tick. I think right now we're 3 for 41 on the year going into this week, which is 7% or something like that. But I think we want to be maybe 10 to 12% would be great. But you never ever can predict that. I know that was a long answer. You think I've thought about it.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I think you guys have attempted 3 fake punts in the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. Even just the act of going for those, does that maybe plant a seed? If you were the opposing special teams coordinator, you see the frequency of that and have to then worry about it.
Yeah.
Change some things up.
Yeah. Listen, I'll use for example, I'll use the Carolina Panthers. Have Johnny Hecker, who's thrown 25 passes in his career, and
4 against y'all.
yeah, it seems like he always throws one against the Saints, right? So when you play a team like that there's the possibility of a fake, you're going to see some different, And I think I told you guys when we had faked that punt against Matt Hayball's punt against Carolina, that's something we had rep for a while. The one we ran the other day, we had rep for a while. It's just sometimes a situation just doesn't present itself. The game, you're really just going to make that call based on how the game's going, the down and distance, the opponent, all those things. And so I know we came up a half yard short the other day. We kind of lost a couple blocks late. But that being said, we're always going to have some stuff up for every game, and whether or not the situation arises. So, but it's just having an aggressive mentality. Sometimes you're better off leaving your offense out there and going for a 4th and medium or a 4th and short. Sometimes if you think you're going to get a certain look, you may be better off running a fake punt. So just all those management decisions kind of come into it. Everybody good? We got out of the room today. We got into the Brave and the Elements. So
Yeah.
I tried to tell them to cool
We
the
didn't
room
need
down.
to do that. Well, we did need to do that before sitting in the Superdome press box.
All right, appreciate you guys. Thanks, man.
Did you
You got
all
it.
get a replay system?
When you spoke after the game on Sunday, I mean, it seemed like you were eager for this opportunity, but like, you know, I don't know if expected is the right word, but I mean, is it something you really feel like you've earned?
Yeah,
And we're hoping they would.
Yeah, you know, I've been preparing for this. Like I told you when I was sitting in my locker, you talked to me, you said, how's your preparation change? I said, I just keep staying steady. And, you know, I think I've done that. And I think, you know, when I played in the Denver game, I played at the Chargers game with no preparation, you know, in practice, no reps, being able to come in and move the ball. You know, I felt like I earned it. At the same time, you know, I play with confidence every time I'm in the game, and I feel like this week's no different. You know, I had a full week of prep, feel great about it, and you know, my teammates believe in me, believe in what we can do, and you know, I'm excited to go out there and let it spin.
How does that week of preparation or knowing you're the starter kind of help?
Yeah, I mean, you get reps with the guys that are going to be out there playing. So, you know, having an idea of the speed of the guys and being able to rep the plays that you're going to run in the game is huge. And, you know, I feel great about it. I feel confident, and the guys are ready to roll, like I said. But, you know, having that week of prep is big, and being able to go produce on Sundays.
Jake, when you got the news, was it an expectation of yours, or?
I mean, look, I'm going to do everything every week that I can to prepare. If that's, you know, you're starting, you're the two. You know, I got to be ready to play no matter what. And so I feel like, you know, Jonathan Vilma just asked me, how does your preparation change, you know, knowing that you're going to be the starter? You know, I've been going through my process since last year, you know, when I was working with Gruden, him allowing me to understand what my process is going to be and how to prepare like an NFL starter. So, you know, they always say, you know, just always stay prepared. I feel like I've always had this process, and I've been, you know, practicing it for the last year and a half. So this week was no different. I do the same process that I've been doing, and I feel great about it.
Except for interviews with Jonathan Bill.
Except for interviews with Jonathan. Yeah, very true. Very true.
Two numbers that are a very small sample size, but I'm just curious your thoughts on them. One is a positive, no turnovers in the games you've played. Is there anything coincidental about that, or is that a part of your game, or is that?
Look, man, I just got to go and be me and trust what I see, trust my feet, trust my preparation. You know, I think in the times that I've played in the games, I haven't put the ball in harm's way, but I also have, 30 attempts. Yeah. So, you know, you got to go out there, you got to show the people that you can play, you know, in meaningful games, meaningful snaps, and you got to earn everything in this league. And I feel like that's been the theme of my life. I've had to earn everything I get. Everyone's doubted me. And I just got to go prove it.
The other one is a negative, but again, it's only 30 attempts, but a 48% completion percentage. What strikes you of missed opportunities, I guess?
I wouldn't even worry about the whatever percentage it is. You know, you go into a couple games, you get a couple drops, you get a couple bad balls. You just got to go out and prepare, and this Sunday is an opportunity to go cut it loose, show what I can do, be a full-time starter in a game, and you can make your judgment off that.
Fans have gotten the opportunity to see you obviously coming in relief, but as you mentioned, like with a week of prep, things could look a bit different. What should they expect to see from you?
Listen, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to let it rip. You know, I feel like I've worked too hard to go in there, you know, with that mentality of, oh, don't screw up. You know, sure. I've been preparing for this. I'm going to do everything I can. This is a must-win game, but if you look at it, we're 5-8. What do I have to lose? Right? No, seriously, like, what do I have to lose? I might never get an opportunity to start a game again. I'm going to show everybody what I'm capable of doing, and let the guys know that I'm confident in doing that. You go and you win this game, things can change. So I think it's just a 1-0 mentality. Beat the Commanders and show everybody what, you know, Jake Haener can do on Sunday.
How did you handle the first time earlier this season when informed you weren't going to be the starter?
I mean, listen, I talked to Mike about it. What did I tell you, Mike? Just always got to be prepared. You know, and that's been my line that I've told everybody. I just try to stay prepared and try to do everything I can to give myself the best opportunity and my team the best opportunity if I'm in there, and that's never going to change.
What's your comfort level with the wide receivers? Obviously, it's a different room than the one maybe you've worked with in camp.
For sure. I think MVS has been great this week. You know, he's a veteran presence. Juwan, Foster, Kevin, all those guys I feel confident with. AK, having him there, just being able to have confidence in the people that I've gotten reps with this week, I think is a big thing. And if I feel a matchup is favorable in our with the Saints, I'm going to take that opportunity and do everything I can to put the ball where it needs to be.
Dallin Holker got his first career catch last week. Is he somebody you've gotten an opportunity to build a little bit of chemistry with?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with him a lot this offseason, right? Like, I feel like he was with the 2 rotation a lot this training camp, and it's a guy that I've thrown the ball to a lot, so I feel really comfortable with him.
Jake, where do you feel like you kind of made the most strides this season, just going back from when you started the process this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think my feet and my timing have obviously improved. I feel like I've always been an accurate passer. I just think once you get more and more confident with the reads and progressions in the system and you get more reps at it, the better you feel. And I feel like this offense has given us the opportunity in OTAs, in training camp, throughout the season to rep a lot of what we were going to do, on Sundays. And, I feel like I've gotten a lot of reps of what we have in, and, I feel confident with it.
Because, like, the general public doesn't maybe necessarily know who you are.
Yeah.
They've discovered that photo shoot from a while ago. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about it. I'm sorry.
That is like just such the opposite representation of like who I actually am.
Yeah.
And I hate it so much just because it's just like, it's whatever. I did it. I got to own it. But I can't stand it. I would think I'm a clown if I saw that too. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? You just got to go let it rip on Sunday, and then people forget about that crap.
Could you? Sorry, I wasn't here last year. But like, could you give the backstory of how those photos
You're killing
originated?
me.
I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, it was like the NFLPA thing, and I was kind of just standing there doing the photos, and they're like, have fun with it, blah, blah, blah. And you saw it. So, yeah, it turned into that, and here we are.
What's your journey been like this season, from off season to the skin cancer to now?
Yeah, that's actually a great point. That was something that kind of just came up out of nowhere, obviously, and I had great care with our trainer. Sean has been awesome. Ben, JG, Keyshawn, Reggie, I'm going to name them all. They've all been great. Austin, Mango, Natalie, everybody's been great, and they do a great job at what they do. So the skin cancer for me was nothing. I felt like I trusted them, and all I needed to worry about was football. So, the ups and downs as far as, being told you're not going to, have the opportunity to start, obviously that was tough. But at the same time, it's all about the team. It's all about how can we, have the best way to get a win on Sunday. And at the time, it was, Spencer starting the games. And, now it's my opportunity to try to go get us a win on Sunday. And the Commanders present a great challenge. They're a great team. But we're confident. We had a great week of practice. And, I just think we're ready for the moment.
Are your friends and family coming in for the game?
Yeah, Derek was actually, obviously Derek has been awesome this week, super supportive. He's been watching film with me every morning, just giving his 2 cents on what the Commanders do and how they present a challenge. He gave us 10 tickets to his box, which obviously, I can't thank him enough for that. It's a really unique opportunity and something that doesn't happen a lot. So really, really grateful for that.
Jake, when Derek was out, weeks 6 through 9, I think there was 16 sacks, and in the games he started, there's been 8. I guess when you look at that and you see those numbers, is there kind of a through line of what needs to be different to avoid that? Or
just got to process and get the ball out of your hand and trust what you see. I'm going to do everything I can to go through my progressions, get the ball out of my hand, and obviously with Derek, he's played in this league 11 years. He's seen a lot of looks, and I think having him down there with me on Sunday will be huge, because once I understand kind of what is being projected at me, if what holds true on film is going to be, the tail on Sunday, then, I can continue to trust my prep and go. But if not, I got to react, and I think that's a beautiful thing about a pure progression offense.
Is that, when you say get your ball out of the hand fast, is it more just, knowing what you're looking at? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of sit back there and you're like, okay, I have an idea of what's going on here. You trust your prep, you trust what you see. And that comes with experience. It doesn't happen. You go and you see a lot of these young quarterbacks, and I'm not a vet by any means, but some guys don't trust what they see all the time. And that entail leads to sacks, leads to you holding the ball. So I just got to trust what I see and use my eyes to my advantage and cut it loose.
How impactful has Andrew Janoko been for you?
He's been great. In the beginning, me and him, I was bugging the crap out of him, asking for, all the keys. How do we do this? How do we do that? And he's like, dude, it's March. I have no idea how we're going to run this offense yet. And he's like, who is this Haener guy, dude? Like, get out of here. I don't know who you are. So he's been awesome, though. Like, dude is so passionate about football. He is, one of my favorite coaches, that I've had, in the sense of just bringing energy every day. He loves what he does. He loves being in the room. And just for me, coming into work every day with somebody that's passionate and loves their job is contagious. And I think he does a really good job of presenting me with all the information that I need to be successful. And he's done that the entire year. If it's Derek, if it's Spencer, if it's me. And he shows complete confidence in whoever's back there. And I have a great relationship with him.
You thrived a bit in like those 2-minute situations in camp. I'm wondering, is there anything you can translate from, like, even if you guys aren't going necessarily no huddle or hurry up, that can benefit that to help you find that rhythm, I guess?
For me, it's just like it all comes back to trusting what you see and trusting your feet. And, I just got to do everything I can to trust my preparation. And the biggest thing is, guys, just being confident in what you're doing and letting the guys around you feel your confidence, feel your chip on your shoulder. And guys follow that. And I think when you play with a little energy, the team feels it. And when the passer is completing the ball at a high rate and you're moving the ball up and down the field, the crowd feels it. Everybody feels it. So I'm going to do everything I can to do one play at a time, find completions, and move the chains.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.